Hi everyone, I'm Jay. Welcome to Forbidden Files. Today, I want to talk about a different case. It's not unsolved, and it isn't a shocking crime. The victim of the case is not a person. But what happened to her makes us feel the malice and coldness of humanity. The Murderous Marie case. September 12, 1916 was an important day for the circus owner Charles Sparks, who was in Kingsport, Tennessee, USA. His circus's national tour was about to begin in Kingsport. His circus was warmly welcomed by the locals. Kingsport was a quiet and remote town. There wasn't much entertainment. The circus made the whole town excited. Everyone was looking forward to watching the wonderful performances. Their enthusiasm infected Charles. He patted his elephant and said, "Go, Marie." Marie roared and the joyful parade began. Marie was dressed up and walked in the front. Charles walked in the middle and greeted the fans. He raised Marie, the star of the circus. She was always treated like a star. Charles felt proud of it. However, shortly after he heard the angry shouts ahead, Charles couldn't believe it. They shouted, "Kill the elephant!" Charles knew it was not good. He hurried to the front and caressed her nose. He didn't need to ask what had happened. Anyone could guess it when they saw the tamer on the ground and the blood on her hoof. Marie killed its tamer. People were shouting. Charles felt scared and powerless. He knew that he couldn't save Marie no matter what, and his circus would be destroyed. Marie was a 5-ton female Asian elephant. She was bought by Charles's father when she is 4 and trained in the circus. Charles inherited the circus after his father died. He raised her with his wife. On the day of the tour in Kingsport, Marie was 22 and had performed with Charles for 18 years. For Charles and his wife, they loved Marie as if she was their own kid. Charles's family was close to Marie. She was docile and likable, never refused to be touched. And she could do many amazing things such as playing instruments, standing on her head, playing baseball. The skills made the circus the top in the industry, and she had become a real star. However, now the police officers arrested Marie. They caged her. The local newspaper collected evidence. Some witnesses said that Marie let out an angry howl in front of everyone and threw the tamer on her back with her nose, 3 meters high. Then he fell to the ground. Marie stepped on his head with her huge hoof. There was a lot of blood. Marie pierced his body with her front teeth in anger, and she trampled on him as if confirming she won. Under pressure, there wasn't much time for Charles. The mayor of their next city had explicitly banned their performances. Other cities also said if they kept Marie, they'd also ban their performances. People kept urging him if he didn't deal with it as the owner, he would be accused of murder. He tried everything, but he had only one option. Only by executing Marie in public could he save the circus. Though he didn't want to, he had no other choice. The local people agreed with it, and they started to discuss the execution. Marie's tough skin would be a problem for shooting. It may injure the audience, not Marie. No one knew what an enraged elephant would do. Tennessee couldn't provide enough electricity to electrocute Marie. Some people even suggested cruelly pulling Marie with 2 locomotives. They were not adopted as Charles begged them not to. Finally, they decided to use the most humane way, hanging. On September 13, 1916, the day after the incident, it was foggy and drizzling. Marie was taken to a rail yard in Irwin by train. There was a huge 100-ton derrick used to unload wood from trucks. There wasn't much entertainment in Tennessee. People were scared, but were still driven by curiosity, and went to see it. It was crowded. They seemed to be excited and expectant. Marie was taken to the execution ground with 4 elephants from the circus, including her children. Charles hoped their company would keep Marie calm. But the clever Marie knew what was about to happen to her. Hesitant and frightened, she kept crying. When Marie went to the derrick, the staff quickly tied one of her legs to the rail so she couldn't run. They took other elephants away, so they didn't see Marie fall in pain. The staff put the iron chain around Marie's neck. It's time. People were terribly silent, as if they were waiting for a show. Only Marie's cry was heard. With an order, they lifted the derrick. They forgot to untie the iron chain on her legs. When Marie was hoisted to about 1.5 meters high, the chain broke because it couldn't stand her weight. Marie's huge body fell to the ground and made a loud noise. This accident made the onlookers scared. They fled and screamed. But they didn't go far, as they found Marie couldn't move at all. She fell and broke her hip bone. So the staff used a thicker and stronger iron chain. People turned and continued to watch. The derrick started again, and Marie was lifted high. Her legs were swinging, and she was screaming in pain. Her voice was getting lower and lighter gradually. It turned into sobs drowned by the cheers of the crowd. After she was hung for half an hour, the vet announced her death. Marie was put down and buried in a large hole nearby. But they didn't care why Marie attacked the tamer that day. If they looked into it, they would know that it was not like what they heard. Let's see what happened in the performance on September 12th. The tamer who rode on Marie's back that day was Walter Eldridge. He used to work in a hotel. When Charles' circus came to the town, he was unemployed. He applied to work there. The circus was recruiting, so Charles hired Walter. Charles gave him a simple training and told him the circus was gentle with animals and respected them. To avoid problems, Charles made Walter take care of the docile Marie. But Walter didn't listen to him. When he rode on her back, he felt a sense of conquest and satisfaction. He used to be bossed around in the hotel, so he commanded Marie willfully. At first, he didn't go too far, but after trials, he found that Marie was docile indeed. He began to use the ankus aggressively and stabbed Marie. The ankus is a long and sharp tool, like a sickle, especially for elephants. Walter kept torturing Marie with it. The extensive ulceration near Marie's ears and gums the vet found proved it. So, Walter's recklessness caused this tragedy. However, rumors and exaggerated reports distorted the fact. On the day of the performance, when Walter was on Marie's back, she was attracted by the watermelons. She wanted to go to see it or taste it, feeling Marie was going astray. Walter stabbed her in the ear with the ankus again. It finally triggered Marie, according to the testimony. Marie threw Walter because she was in too much pain. She didn't mean to hurt Walter. She took the wrong step in panic. That was how Walter died. After she realized the mistake, quietly and nervously, She looked around, looking for her master. The media made up the rumor and said she hurt people. How many of the 2,500 people actually knew the truth? They didn't care what the truth was. For them, they just wanted something unusual in their lives. Watching the circus performances and Marie's execution are the same. Being an elephant, Marie belonged to nature. As long as she was a circus performer in human society, this kind of tragedy would happen. For human beings, we should be exploring how to live peacefully with animals instead of trying to conquer them.